Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this information session about the Master Biomedical Sciences. My name is Jolanda van der Zee. I'm the program director of this master program, and I'm joined by my colleague.
My name is Hester Bootsma. I'm the program advisor. First of all, we would like to get you to think about and also look into your future career perspectives. So first, now you have to choose a master, but after the master you will probably enter working life. So we want you to think about and look into different options that you have. We will offer you opportunities to look both in and outside of academia, because there are many job opportunities for graduates of our master. And first and foremost, of course, we will offer you opportunities to perform research that is related to the maintenance of health and prevention of disease. We are the Master Biomedical Sciences, so research in this domain is very important to us. But we also will train you to look at scientific and societal challenges in the field of biomedical sciences. And this field is interdisciplinary, so there's many different angles that you can look at things. And finally, we would hope to give you a set of skills that are suitable for a wide range of career opportunities, possibilities, not only in research, but also in different biomedical domains, such as industry, policy making, education, and communication. So, like I just said, the research in biomedical sciences is indeed interdisciplinary, and it's becoming much more and more important to be able to look at questions from different angles. So what are the things that we can look at? So with biomedical sciences, you will focus on questions regarding the healthy but also the diseased state of humans, because both are required to get the answers that we may be looking for. And we do so by studying processes at different levels. So small level, like molecules, cells, but also bigger humans, and also on population level. There's much research going on. And you will combine elements from different domains like biology, chemistry, physics, and mathematics. And you will combine this with medical science, because we are biomedical sciences.
The list that we came up with, of course, are also examples, and you can call them buzzwords, not for nothing, that popped up in the word cloud already. So viral infections, of course, COVID has already shown us what research can do, and maybe you have noticed the Nobel Prize for medicine is for the developers of the mRNA viruses, so it's very exciting, and I think it's great that they got the Nobel Prize, so check it out if you have not seen that yet. Molecular and physiological mechanisms involved in the regression and development of cancer. That also popped up in your word cloud. Treatments for neurological decline in an aging population, of course, very important and a big challenge. New methods for diagnosing and analyzing genetic defects. It has been going on for a long time, but new techniques pop up. So what does it mean in the diagnostics and also analytics, and maybe also in ethics? So there are lots of discussions going on there. Stem cell therapy or regenerative medicine, lots going on. How is biomedical knowledge best translated to actual treatment of patients from bench to bedside, especially important in a hospital? And we would like to ask you, would you like to address these issues as a scientist, in or outside academia, so as a researcher, or would you, for example, like to do that as a policy maker, a communicator, or maybe as an educator? So there are many opportunities to address these issues in different roles, and that makes it also exciting to study biomedical sciences, but also to work in that field. So this Master Biomedical Science, what does it entail? It's a 2-year master program. It's full-time, which means that at the end of the 2 years you will have 120 EC. It takes place, at least the courses take place at the LMC, which is an academic medical center here in Leiden, the Leiden University Medical Center. We have 2 starting dates, September and February. The majority of the students start in September, so we get a big group of starters in September, and usually a small group in February. The language is English, and we have a maximum of 100 students per year. So the LUMC, I already mentioned it, it's the Leiden University Medical Center. Well, it has important tasks. It has patient care, which of course makes sense, being a medical center. Scientific research, which sometimes is not that well known for a medical center, but we have a lot of scientific research. And education, of course. We have about 7,000 employees and maybe even more than 2,600 students nowadays. We have multiple bachelor and master programs. So we have the masters in medicine, biomedical sciences, pharmacy, vitality and aging, population health management and clinical technology. So there's a lot to choose of what takes place in the LUMC. We also have a lot of PhD students, so a lot of research, as I already mentioned, but it also means that we have a lot of PhD students walking around in the labs, and approximately 140 PhD students graduate each year. So it's a lot of research is going on in this medical center. Important to realize is that the research in the LUMC is organized in various research teams that are listed here, and of course already pops up cancer, pops up immunity, pops up regenerative medicine, pops up. So there are many common themes that you see in this biomedical science domain. And important to realize, and it makes sense of course, is that these research teams of course are linked also to the education that we provide in our master program. So you will see that a lot of our courses, researchers within this research team talk about what they are doing at a daily basis. It's a 2-year program. And it's very important to realize that the first year is dedicated to biomedical sciences. So that's for all students. And it's research that we are talking about in the first year. It means that you follow a number of mandatory courses. For example, we have a course on how to write a research proposal. It was already mentioned in the word cloud as well. Money is important. If you want to do research, you need money. And how can you try to get funding of your research is by writing proposals and send them to all kinds of organizations and try to get money for your research. So we deal with that a little bit in one of our first courses. Then we have a course on scientific conduct. A small course talk about more how to act in a scientific environment. And we have a big course on R, statistics and molecular epidemiology. So that's for all in the beginning. So we start in September with this number of courses. And then after these mandatory courses, students start to choose their own courses and their own program. And as I already mentioned, we have a lot of research teams within the LUMC. And within these teams, Frontiers of Science courses are organized. And they, for example, deal with infection or with immunology or cardiovascular disease. So we have a lot of different Frontiers of Science courses, and students can choose from these courses. So they follow their own ideas, and that's a scientific deepening within the master program. It's also very important that in your first year you perform a research internship, because we are a research master. So the first year everybody will perform a research internship of at least 20 weeks. So it's important to realize that research is important. We have a career orientation. That's a program that is during the whole master. Occasionally things pop up that you have to do, but you plan that yourself. And of course there is also an elective area where you can choose courses or maybe extend an internship or whatever you are interested in. And in your second year, you choose your specialization. So important mandatory courses at the beginning. Frontiers of Science courses are deepening courses, and everybody performs a research internship in the first year. We already mentioned it. Would you like to address the issues that we face in the biomedical sciences domain? Would you like to address these as a scientist, in or outside academia, as a policymaker, a communicator, or for example as an educator? Well, these are also the specializations that we offer. So we have the specialization in research, We have a specialization related to more business environment, is management, communication and education. And we also have a combination with the medicine, where you can follow the health specialization. But you have to be enrolled in a medical program, the Master Medicine, in order to be able to do that. So that's very important. It's not possible to enter medicine via Biomedical Sciences. So what do these specializations entail? In very general idea. If you want to know more, you can of course look at our website. It offers a course in laboratory animal sciences, and it's particularly focused at rules and regulations. So it's not really about working with animals in the lab per se, but it's everything you should know about this before you are allowed to work with animals. You do perform a large internship, at least 28 weeks in research, and prior to that you write a research proposal, and you can also write a scientific review on a subject related to this internship. So you can basically spend a year on your second internship with all these other activities around it. Approximately 60%, I think, of our students at the moment choose for the research specialization. Then we have the management specialization. That's together with the Faculty of Science, and that is called Business Studies or Science-Based Business. And that program consists of a number of courses. They are organized by Science-Based Business and Business Studies. Again, a large internship, but now in business or in management. Again, you write a short proposal prior to the start, and you can also follow some electives. I'm not sure, but there might be an information session organized during these days also by the Business Studies, so check that out on the website of the university. So that's a second option. About 25% of our students choose for the management specialization. So the majority of students that start a program and are interested in research or management, or a combination of these, because a lot of students also are considering both, and both are interesting to them, so they sometimes look for a combination as well. Then we have the communication specialization, and that's approximately 10%. Again, organized together with the Faculty of Science. It's called Science, Communication and Society. And they organize the courses, and again you perform an internship, but now in the domain of communication, and you write a proposal as well before that internship. So it's important, and I was not sure whether there was an information session by Science, Communication and Society, but look up the information on their website as well when you are interested in this, communication specialization. And then we have education, so that's only in Dutch, so you have to be able to speak and understand Dutch. And that's organized together with the education faculty, the ICLON, and courses and teaching biology at high school. So they have info sessions sometimes also within this program, so check that out, and also look at their website for more information. And so it's important to realize this with Biomedical Sciences, you can become a high school teacher in biology. And then we have health. As I already mentioned, it's in combination with a Master of Medicine in Leiden, and also the Dutch language is required, and it consists of a research internship and also a clinical elective. And there's a combination with the Master of Medicine that is especially organized for these students, which gives you some options to get to shorten both programs. And then, of course,
why would you choose our master in Leiden? Well, first of all, because it's a very nice program, of course. But well, we have some characteristics that may lead you to choose our program. So we have these different specializations that we just talked about, and you can make these choices within the same master program. So we're in fact a very broad program in which you can, of course, specialize in a certain direction if you want, but in first instance you don't have to choose already which way you want to go. We offer education in small group sizes and also individual training, especially in your internships. So you do 2 major internships in our master regardless of specialization that you choose, which is fun and will prepare you very well for your life after the master. We think our courses are high quality and they are closely linked to the research performed in the LMC, and they're also given the Frontiers of Science courses by researchers in the LMC that will tell you about the forefront of the science that they're doing. It's a flexible 2-year program in which you are largely in charge of the way you want to schedule your program yourself. There's a couple of mandatory courses in the beginning, but other than that, within the guidelines that we set, you can really be in control of your own program. And you can study multiple subjects. The LMC has nice modern research facilities, but there's also plenty of opportunities for students to do research abroad. So you're by no means obliged to do your internship in the LMC. You can do it pretty much anywhere you want, as long as it's according to the guidelines that we set. But you can go abroad, you can go elsewhere in the Netherlands. So there's plenty of options. And we also offer you a focus on career orientation, not only in academia, but also outside of it. And then last but not least, the LMC is located in the Leiden Bioscience Park, which offers good job opportunities for after the master. So like I said, it's a flexible program, but if you start in September, you will start together with all the other students with 3 mandatory courses. So this is an example from this September, but you will start with the courses that were described: how to write a research proposal, scientific conduct, and the big statistics and R course, clinical research in practice. So those will be the first 7 weeks of your master. And afterwards, most students will do their choice of the Frontiers of Science courses. So these are full-time small-scale courses with a limited number of students, which is why we schedule several of them at the same time, but you can only follow 1 course at the same time, because all courses that we offer are full-time. So for instance, you will choose to do 1 FOS course in October, November after clinical research in practice. And then there's also a lot of courses that are offered later in the study year. And usually students follow 2 to 3 FOS courses in 2 years. So you are obliged to collect 12 ECTS of FOS courses, which amounts to 2 4-week courses, but you are allowed to do more if you are interested in doing these courses. So again, the program is flexible, so when you decide to do your first internship is really up to you. Like we said, the first year of our program is focused on research, so your first internship will be a research internship of at least 20 weeks. And you can, for instance, do this after following multiple Frontiers of Science courses. You can also plan a break in your internship to follow a course, or you can start with your internship immediately after the statistics course if you don't want to start with the FOS courses. And since there are so many options that you can do, when you have applied to our master and the selection and admission process that we'll come back to is finished, we will help you plan your first year through multiple online information sessions during June and August. So you don't have to do everything yourself, of course, and we will certainly help you make the right choice. And then you can decide on the specialization that you want to follow after your first year, during your first year, but also at the beginning of your second year or after you followed some of the, for instance, management courses. So you have to decide which specialization you want to choose, but you don't have to do it in the beginning. And career orientations is offered in parallel throughout the master, the 2 years, and also there are some short elective courses. So here are some programs for the first year of your master that you can do. On top you see a pretty straightforward, if you want to call it like that, a program. So the 3 mandatory courses followed by 2 FOS courses, then a well-deserved Christmas break, after which the students decide to start with their JRP1 and at the end of the year write a scientific review connected to the JRP1. But in the second example, this student decided to take only 1 FOS course because probably he didn't like the choices in the period afterwards, then start the JRP1 and then do a FOS course offered later in the academic year. So in the period May. That's also possible. Or as in the third example, you can plan your JP1, and then take a 4-week break during your internship to follow a FOS course of your interest in that period. That's also done more often. So these are some examples, but of course there's many more possibilities for the first year of your program. I will take this as well, yep. So then of course, how do you get to our master? So we have an admission and selection procedure. You can read all the information on our website. And you have to submit your application through StudyLink, after which you have to upload all your documents in the digital system USIS from Leiden. Important to keep in mind, the deadline for a start in September 2024 is the 1st of April 2024. There are other deadlines for visa and scholarships, which are usually earlier, so please check this, but keep in mind, if you want to start next September, apply to our program before the 1st of April of next year. Then we will perform a selection placement procedure if we have more applicants than available places. So we have a maximum of 100 students each year. You will hear whether or not you are conditionally admitted probably by the beginning of May. We have a board of admissions that evaluates all applications. And then we will inform you whether or not we have to perform a selection procedure if we have more applicants. And the past years we always had to do this, so the chances are very high that we indeed will go to a selection placement procedure. And we strive to get a decision on placement by the end of May 2024. This depends a little bit on the number of applicants, of course, but that's what we hope to achieve. Then we also have a way into a master for HBO bachelors. I'm hoping at least some of you are still HBO bachelors, because there were no one in when we asked this question. But if you have done your bachelor HBO, you can only start our master through following a pre-master year. And for this also you can find the application procedure on our website. This pre-master takes a year and you can only start in September. And then you have to apply for the Bachelor Biomedische Wetenschappen for not first year. The deadline is the same, it's April 1st. And also here we have a maximum of 10 places available for the pre-master. Usually we have more applicants, so we also perform a selection procedure. The good news is that if you are admitted to the pre-master and you successfully complete this, you have a guaranteed place in the master in the next year. So if you apply for the pre-master, start September 2024, you can, and you complete this successfully, you can start with our master September 2025. So what are our entry requirements? Because we want to give you the highest rate of success to finish our master, so we have defined some of the knowledge, understanding and skills that you have to have in order to do this. So you have to have in-depth knowledge and skills and understanding of molecular biology, immunology, human pathology, neurosciences and statistics. And also very important, you have to have some practical laboratory experience, either gained through courses or through an internship, and you have to have a several-month research project in your bachelor. And also there's an English requirement if you're not from the Netherlands. If you haven't done your VWO in the Netherlands, you have to have apply to the language requirements. Yeah.
Shall I do this?
Yeah, you do this.
I do this. Okay, well, that's a lot of information, and some of it is still very far away, but don't miss that deadline of application, because that is, you know, there's nothing we can do about it. After graduation, so when you have followed this master program and you graduate at the end of 2 years, or maybe a little bit later, depends on what you want to do, well, what we see is that almost 100% of our graduates have a paid job, so that's good. We also had a recent alumni survey, and 95% of the respondents had a job within 6 months, and a majority of them, I think 70%, even within 1 month. So that is really great. So, and after a year, everybody has a job. So that's good. And also, of course, it's important at a job on an academic level, or at least something that fits what you have studied for, because that's, of course, the idea of our education program. 60% of the students choose for a PhD position. You see a lot of students choose the research specialization, and usually that is because they are very interested in pursuing a career in research, or at least pursue a PhD. So we see that about 60% of our students also go for that, and that can be in the LMC in the Netherlands or even abroad. They can also look for positions in a research environment outside academics, so in a company, so there are a lot of opportunities there as well. In the pharmaceutical industry, junior positions, so a lot of positions where the word junior is mentioned, and it's on an academic level of thinking and working, then it's quite often it fits an academic degree. So it can be in pharmaceutical science or in industry, startups, or at consultancies. So there's a lot of opportunities there as well. Especially the students in the business specialization, the management specialization, are quite often interested in these kinds of jobs, but also with the research specialization you can go in this direction. Junior positions in policy making, for example, at ministries, institutions, or patient organizations, also what we see quite often. Junior positions in the area of communication, for example, in museums. The number of jobs there, of course, are more limited than in research or in business. So that is something, might be a little bit more difficult to find something, but there are possibilities. And of course, teaching, again, biology teachers with an academic degree are in high demand for high schools, because they like staff that is well educated also in research. And again, check our alumni stories on the website, because they tell you about their jobs and what they are doing after graduation. So that gives you an idea of the possibilities. But there are much more options there than only our short stories. And if you want to know more, you can always go to our website, and we have a mail address, and just let us know, and we help you with your questions there as well. And we are not exactly sure how things will be planned, but we expect to have an online session in February or March, and maybe also some on-campus activities, but those still have to be planned. But follow the announcements on the website of the Leiden University and on LMC if you are interested in those activities. So mail us with your personal questions, and we try to help you. So thank you again, and maybe see you next year in Leiden.